So I've been hearing a lot of the same conversation. Interest rates are too high. Houses are sitting on the market for longer. We're seeing price reductions. Then you have the stock market and the economy, and let's not even mention politics right now. But it kind of begs the question is, when is the next housing crash going to happen? Or better yet, is the Greenville, South Carolina housing market actually pretty insulated from the rest of the country? And while we talk about that, we're gonna walk around Legacy Park today. As you see that popping up behind me, just know we're in a really cool neighborhood. Ask me questions about it, reach out to the team, because we would love to give you more information. And you can do that by scanning this QR code that is up here on the screens. Okay, so let's recap just a little bit. The last housing crash was crazy. From about 2008 to 2012, we know that houses depreciated, they lost value. Why did that happen? Well, honestly, our financial institution, people who had loans and gave loans, were just giving them out too easily. So then what ended up happening is people ended up buying homes that they actually couldn't afford. Then we also had builders. They were building lots and lots of houses, and it ended up they could not sell them. So what ended up happening? Well, everything fell apart. To be honest with you, I do remember it. My parents tried to sell their home during that time. Thankfully did not go into a foreclosure, but they did end up having to pay to get out of the house. So let me know, do you guys have a crazy housing correction story? Let me know in the comments where you were, what happened. Did you lose your house or did you manage to keep it and sell it? I would love to know. So that happened. We are through with it. We are now back on this side of, hey, everything's working well and people are getting loans as they're supposed to. But what ended up happening is we ended up with a 14-year deficit of homes being built.
14 years?
14 years, Michael. It was crazy because we had a whole bunch of housing formations during that time, but builders went bankrupt. So builders have been catching up. Now we are getting there. Inventory is better, but we've actually seen, like, the Greenville market's been insane.
Yeah, let's talk about the Greenville boom.
I mean, if you want to call that. It's been booming since I got into real estate, in all honesty.
When was that?
So I got into real estate in 2016 here in Greenville. So I've been a realtor now for almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been pretty crazy here the entire time. Well, why is that? Why is everybody looking to move to a place where you have a nice park like this, where everybody's walking around, everybody's walking their dogs, the moms, the nannies, the kids, everybody's out here. Why Greenville?
Yeah, why on earth would you want to live in a place like this? Hang on, sorry to interrupt.
What?
A weather station.
Ooh, what's a weather station? Engineers use rainfall and stream monitoring data to understand and improve water quality in the Reedy River within the Saluter watershed. Huh.
As I saw this out of my peripheral, I was like,
what's
what
around?
the heck is going on?
What is over here? I don't know. There's nothing like else that's really special about it. Nah, cool.
I thought it was some kind of like
Maybe.
government surveillance charging station. You know, the bird drones.
We're also right outside of the Greenville Downtown Airport.
We are. This neighborhood is like right in the middle of everything.
It is in the middle of everything. I mean, you've got the Motor Mile, you've got movie theaters, you have shopping, Lawrence Road, Woodruff Road, Haywood Road. It's like all connecting right here. Plus you're in between 385 and 85 and it's super easy to hop on the interstate from here. Here you also have housing from apartments to townhomes. Then you have single family homes that have smaller yards, single family homes that have bigger yards, brand new houses that are probably less than 10 years old. But then you also have more established neighborhoods just across Lawrence Road that are still considered the Verde area that are beautiful. Big established trees, everything.
But also they have some overpriced houses in there that we almost showed on the
Almost showed you an overpriced house today.
but we
I
went and looked at it and we were like, nah,
I just couldn't.
we couldn't.
But let's say this, in this neighborhood, you're probably starting at a $400,000 or $500,000 price point. Back to the Greenville boom. Back in 2013, I believe, Yeah That Greenville was launched. It was a huge marketing campaign to really bring attention to downtown Greenville's new park and just its growth and what they were trying to do to get the community out and walking. The Swamp Rabbit Trail was in full force by then. Being able to say, yeah, that Greenville, because did you know that there's actually Michael, did you know this? Like there's actually a Greenville in like every state.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My sister was born in Greenville, Mississippi.
Really?
Yes.
I think I have family that lived right outside of Greenville, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And then I also get real estate referrals for Greenville, North Carolina.
I bet that happens pretty often.
It does. Then also what you have to know is Greenville is not specifically a vehicle manufacturing city. It's not specifically an engineering city. It's got a lot of different industry here. BMW actually brought a headquarters here back in, what year was it?
Oh man, BMW moved in the 90s.
Yeah.
But they've expanded that facility twice since then.
It's huge. They employ a ton of people here in the area.
I think it was right around the time of Yeah That Greenville. They
Yeah.
invested like $750 million.
It's huge. You've got BMW, but there's also a lot of different manufacturing. There's engineering. There's pharmaceuticals. I think Walmart has a facility like down 85.
Yeah, down 385,
Yeah,
yeah.
385, almost at 26. Here, no one's dependent on one specific industry, and that's one of the largest reasons why we're really insulated here. But also what I have seen here in probably the last 5 years the most is, well, one, people just love to live here, but the entrepreneurial community really took off here. You've got a lot of people who own their own businesses, who work from home, everything. Greenville's very kind to people like that. Another reason why people love Greenville so much, and it's not necessarily so much industry or the jobs that they can have, it's because of just the general location. You are 30 minutes from the mountains, 30 minutes from the lakes, and about 3.5 hours from a beach. Being that close to everything, I mean, I like it. And also, let's just look at this. It's beautiful out here.
Also, it's May right now, and
It's so mild. I almost had to grab my jacket. It's weird.
it is weird.
Usually it's gonna be in the 80s today. We might be able to hop in the pool, maybe. But it was like 73 degrees this morning and I was sad. So you're only about an hour and a half from Charlotte, 2 hours from Atlanta. So if you want to hear more, you should go check out our live stream that we have on Thursday nights. It's the GBL Gab. We actually come on there and we answer your questions live. We have a whole community of people that are just like you, and I know you love to meet them as well. So just again, general location, the downtown Greenville area and downtown Spartanburg, there's so much to do. This is not a boring place. You can go see a show, you can listen to live music, you can go hang out in one of the really cool Instagrammable restaurants or bars downtown Greenville. There's so many festivals that happen. I mean, every weekend there's something to do downtown Greenville or downtown Spartanburg or in one of the little suburbs around Greenville. So it's really cool, it's fun to be here, and you're never gonna get bored.
Shouts out to Richard Joseph Yop.
Ralph Joseph Yop.
Sorry, Ralph Joseph
You
Yop.
said Richard. We can read.
Yes.
Here's something else about Greenville that I get questions a lot about. Aubree, is it getting overbuilt? Are we getting too much new construction? Well, if you watch our other videos, you know that we walk through quite a bit of new construction homes. Well, and if you're looking for new construction, you should go watch those other videos because we have a few of them. So if you're looking for new construction, you should reach out to us because we have all the builder contacts and we know what we're looking for. Here's my number one rule for you guys. Never go to the builder without a realtor. Do you hear me?
Why do I have to have a realtor to go to a builder?
My goodness, Michael, that's such a great question. Because that realtor is there to represent the builder's best interests. They're not going to tell you that you really need to get a third-party home inspection. Or I've walked through homes with people that are buying new construction and I'm pointing out things that nobody's looking at because I look at ceilings, I look at floors, I open up all of the drawers. You've seen me do it, soft close. And we turn things on, we turn things off. I flip all of the light switches after a home inspection just to make sure that the builder is doing what they're supposed to do. Or, God forbid, something else happen and let's say closing gets moved or you need somebody to stand there on your behalf and negotiate to keep things together. That's what I do. I'm pretty good at it. So
send out a nicely worded email for you.
A nicely worded realtor email. Yes, I do those so well. New construction is making up about 40 to 45% of our entire market at the moment. There's a lot of it. You have your big builders, DRB, Ryan Homes, DR Horton, Eastwood, Mungo. But then you also have quite a few what I call little builders. Builders that only build, say, 5 to 10 houses a year. Those are really cool too. So
we like little builders.
Yeah, and I can help you do that without a problem. I'm even getting pretty creative right now. I have a builder that is installing a fence and building my client a big workshop in order to get the deal together.
Ooh.
I know.
So that's why you have a realtor.
That is another reason of the long list that you have a realtor whenever you buy new construction.
Why have we had to build so much new construction?
Funny you asked that. So remember towards the beginning of the video today, we chatted about how there was a big housing correction back 2008 to 2012. A lot of builders went bankrupt. They could not continue building. And so they stopped building, which means that new builders had to come up to build the houses. And housing formations, though, did not stop. People kept getting older, people kept moving, and all of a sudden we were in an inventory crisis. That started happening in about 2015 to 2018, where we saw inventory dip below 3 months worth of inventory. Now, how you get the inventory number is if you sell the least priced home to the most priced home, that's how long it would take to sell everything if nothing else came on the market. So we are about, I would say we're about 3 to 4 months worth of inventory right now. And
even with all the building?
Even with all of the building, because we recently, just in the last 3 years, actually caught up and actually for the first time since 2012, built enough homes for housing formations in the country. That ends up being about 1.6 to 1.9 million homes that have to be built every year in order to keep up with inventory. But I will tell you this, Greenville, there is a lot of construction happening, but I don't feel like it's getting overbuilt.
Right.
Everything's spread out, and there's developments that were thought about like 20, 30 years ago. And it's just, everybody's just one step at a time, just like the Verde development. I mean, they've got a really cool thing coming up over at Bolden Street. I've seen some of the plans for it, the articles, so on. I'm excited.
We really want to talk to them.
We really want to talk to them. So here's the deal. If you're watching this video and you know anyone at the Verde development headquarters or partners, reach out to them or tag them in the comments, or I would love a warm connection because we really want to talk to them about this future development here in the area.
The inventory deficit that's been happening here in Greenville for a long, is that why housing prices just keep going up?
Part of that is actually because when the housing market crashed, everything deflated. okay? Then you had to inflate it. So what we're actually seeing today and what happened during COVID is we saw prices inflate so quickly because they were catching up to the normal appreciation that should have been happening year over year over year since like 2008, 2012. And so, believe it or not, we've now, I think, and this is my opinion, I think we've caught up. And regular appreciation of homes is about 3 to 7%. We've seen it in some areas as low as just 1.5%, which means housing right now, I think, is primed for a buyer because there's negotiation room, there's sellers that want to sell, and they are willing to make a deal with you.
Like a fence in a workshop.
Like a fence in a workshop to get the house sold that's been on the market for 6 months. The Greenville upstate area is just very insulated whenever it comes to our housing market. That's because we have a pretty stable job market here. So not one industry is going to dictate Greenville's economy. I think that was brilliant. Really, it shows in Greenville's thriving community and economy, everything. It's great. The other things about Greenville that make it just very, very insulated is even though we see interest rates across the country staying a little bit higher, believe it or not, those are pretty stabilizing right now. They're not going anywhere. We are back to the average interest rate according to my lender friends. Now, that they will fluctuate up, they will fluctuate back down. I don't think we will ever see 2-3% interest rates in my lifetime, but we'll see. We're also keeping our home values here. The Anderson, Greenville, Spartanburg areas, the counties, they hold their value, and typically Greenville has held its value even throughout the housing crisis, because back during the housing crisis, only 30% of our market was actually a distressed property, where you had other areas of the country that had over half of their markets were distressed properties. Even whenever you see housing prices decreasing, that is just a market adjustment. It's not the sky is falling and things are going terrible. I will say that we've already seen the peak of the market. That was 2021, 2022. And if you purchase your home during that period of time and you want to talk about selling, we have a good conversation around what that looks like right now. I actually have a conversation this afternoon with somebody. So reach out to us. We would love to answer your questions. I think buying a home, living in Greenville is a fantastic investment that is going to hold its value no matter what the housing market does. If this was helpful for you and you're like, hey, I like that, you should go check out our other videos where we show off housing and neighborhoods, and we tell you a little bit more about the areas. And reach out to the team if you want more information. I'd love to send you a free relocation packet, maps, magazines, koozie, a sticker. So we've got some swag.
We should rebrand it to like a treasure chest or something.
A Greenville treasure chest, I love it.